In the spotlight tonight is Mary Wilmot from Tonopandi, a retired bank clerk, and her specialist subject is Rodgers and Hammerstein. Peter Wright from East Sussex, a sterile services technician whose subject is the history and culture of the Mire. Derek Moody from Warrington, a production manager, and his subject is Queen. And Mike Palfrey from Leeds, a retired teacher whose specialist subject is Lewis Carroll. Welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. Tonight's 4 contenders have made it to the second round of our contest, and whoever wins tonight will go through to the final with a chance of becoming the nation's mastermind. What an honour. I'm sure you know the rules. Specialist subjects first, followed by general knowledge, 2 minutes on each. So let us have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Mary Wilmot.
Your occupation?
Retired bank clerk.
And your chosen subject?
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Rodgers and Hammerstein in 2 minutes. What is the name of the last song that Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote together, which is sung by Captain Von Trapp and his family in The Sound of Music?
Edelweiss.
Correct. Aunt Ella Murphy is carrying out what farming chore as the curtain rises at the opening of Oklahoma?
Churning butter.
She is. In the film version of South Pacific, what is the first song performed after the opening credits? Bloody Mary. Which television musical was broadcast on 31st of March 1957, 14 years to the day after Oklahoma had opened on Broadway?
Cinderella.
Correct. Initially, which American state was proposed as the setting for Carousel when Rodgers and Hammerstein discussed turning Ferenc Molnar's play into a musical?
Louisiana.
Correct. Who made his Broadway directing debut with Flower Drum Song, which opened at the St. James Theatre on the 1st of December 1958?
Gene Kelly.
Correct. In the film version of The Sound of Music, what's the name of the nun, played by Portia Nelson, who describes Maria as a clown, a demon and a headache?
Sister Margareta.
Sister Bertha. What's the title of the only Rodgers and Hammerstein composition to win the Oscar for Best Song?
It's a Grand Night for Singing.
Might as well be Spring. What is the big black giant in the song of that title, From Me and Juliet?
Pass.
Based on the characters from Cannery Row, what was the name of the novel by John Steinbeck on which Rodgers and Hammerstein based Pipe Dream?
Sweet Thursday.
Correct. Under what title did Oklahoma open at the Schubert Theatre in New Haven in March 1943?
Away We Go.
Correct. Which actress fell off the stage while she was singing The Gentleman is a Dope on the first night of Allegro?
Pass.
What is the name of Abel Frake's prize-winning hog, which grunts in rhythm to the song Our State Fair at the opening of the 1945 film?
Blue Boy.
Yes, which playwright was asked to cut down South Pacific after the show's tryout in New Haven when it was felt to be overly long?
Pass.
What is the name of the song in Carousel during which Billy Bigelow decides he must provide for his future child even if it means resorting to crime?
Soliloquy.
Correct. In The King and I, what type of dance do Anna and the King perform to the tune Shall We Dance?
Polka.
Yes, the part of Doc in Pipe Dream was written with which actor in mind, but his singing voice was not of a high enough standard?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you because we're out of time. It was Henry Fonda. Emlyn Williams was the playwright asked to cut down South Pacific. Lisa Kirk was the actress who fell off the stage, and the big black giant was, in fact, the theatre audience. Total of 4 passes. Mary Wilmot, you have 10 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Peter Wright.
Your occupation?
Sterile services technician.
And your chosen subject?
The history and culture of the Mire.
The Mire, in 2 minutes. What name is usually given to the years from 250 to 900 AD that represent the peak of the Mayan civilization?
The classic period.
Yes, the area settled by the Maya covered Belize, parts of Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, and which other country?
Guatemala.
Correct. Which city is thought to have been originally known to its inhabitants as Uquil Abnal, meaning 7 bushes?
Chichen Itza.
Yes, during whose reign in the 7th century AD was the Temple of the Inscriptions at Palenque in southern Mexico begun?
Yanam.
Yes. How was the legendary priest king of the Toltecs, Quetzalcoatl, known to the Yucatan Maya?
Cochulcan.
Yes. Which city on the Pasión River in Guatemala, founded in AD 645 by Balachan Kawil, came to dominate the area until its downfall in AD 761?
Dos Pilas.
Yes. Which facial feature was held in great esteem by the Maya and caused parents to hang small beads over the noses of their children in order to induce this condition?
Crossed eyes.
Yes. What name meaning place of fright did the Quiche Maya give to the underworld?
Chibalba.
Yes. Which architectural style, imitated by Frank Lloyd Wright in the 20th century, flourished in the Terminal Classic period and is named after a range of low hills in southwestern Yucatan?
The Puc.
Yes, the Copan king Huaxaclahun Uba Kawil, who was captured and beheaded by Kawak Sky of Quirigua in AD 738, is usually known by what name?
18 Rabbit.
Yes, which document of the Quiche Maya provides a unique key to much of ancient Maya religion and cosmology?
The Popolva.
Correct. In the Mayan calendar, the first day of the 260-day cycle, known as the Tzolkin, was 1 Imish. What was the last day?
13 Ahor.
Yes. Which city, the largest of the Maya cities, was Tikal's bitter enemy during most of the Classic period?
Calakmul.
Correct. In Maya mythology, Wunapu is one of the younger hero twins. Who is his brother?
Xabalanque.
Yes. According to Stela 31 at Tikal, which king died on the same day that Siakak, also known as Smoking Frog, arrived from the west?
Chak Tok Ichak.
Yes. Which extinct livestock, I'll finish, which extinct language closely related to Chortai and spoken in eastern Guatemala is now generally reckoned to be the language of the inscriptions?
Cholti.
Cholti is right. You had no passes, Peter Wright. You have 16 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Garrick Moody,
Your occupation?
production manager.
And your chosen subject?
Queen.
Queen it is, in 2 minutes. Queen provided the soundtrack for which 1980 film and reached the UK top 10 with the resulting album?
Flash Gordon.
Correct. Under what name was Roger Taylor credited on the first 2 Queen albums?
Roger Meadows Taylor.
Yes. Which musician played additional keyboards for the band on their live appearances between 1984 and 1986?
Spike Edney.
Yes. Before forming Queen, Roger Taylor and Brian May had previously been members of which band with bass guitarist Tim Staffel?
Smile.
Yes. On which album was Freddie Mercury credited with providing vocals, Bechstein, debauchery and more vocals?
Night of the Opera.
Yes. In 1973 and 74, Queen went on a UK and an American tour supporting which fellow British band?
Mott the Hoople.
Yes. It's Dog Eat Dog in this rat race is a line from which John Deacon's song on the album News of the World?
You and I.
Who Needs You? The 4 tracks that made up Queen's first EP in 1977 were Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, Death on 2 Legs, Tenement Funster and which track from Queen 2?
White Queen.
Correct. 2 sound engineers who went on to produce Queen's debut album were present when the band made a demo tape at Delane Lee Studios. One was Roy Thomas Baker. Who was the other?
John Anthony.
He was. In 1965, Brian went to Imperial College London to study which subjects?
Physics and astrophysics.
And astronomy, yes. Shortly before the release of the first Queen album, Freddie Mercury released a single under the name of Larry Lurex that was a cover of which Beach Boys song?
I Can Hear Music.
Correct. What was the name of the band that Roger Taylor formed in 1987 with Peter Noon, Clayton Moss, Spike Edney and Josh McRae?
The Cross.
Yes. Who provided backing vocals on the track Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy on a Day at the Races, the first time that anyone other than the 4 band members had sung on a Queen track?
Mike Stone.
Correct. What was the follow-up single to Bohemian Rhapsody that was also on the Night at the Opera album?
You're My Best Friend.
Yes, the band used a synthesizer for the first time on the chart-topping album The Game. What type of synthesizer?
Oberheim.
Yes. Which song on Sheer Heart Attack was the first song to appear on a Queen album that had the composition credited to all 4 members of the band?
Stone Cold Crazy.
Correct. Freddie Mercury had only played keyboard instruments on record until he played rhythm guitar on which of his own compositions?
Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love. No passes. Derek Moody, you have 16 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Mike Palfrey,
Occupation?
retired teacher.
And your chosen subject?
The literary work of Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll, in 2 minutes. What title did Lewis Carroll originally give to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland when he first gave the manuscript to Alice Liddell?
Alice's Adventures Underground.
Correct. In Through the Looking Glass, what does the White Queen offer to Alice to become her lady's maid, as well as wages of 2p a week?
Jam every other day.
Yes. In Sylvie and Bruno, the Vice Warden's wife claims that military genius and what other trait often run in families?
Ambition.
Love for pastry. Which item, dropped by the White Rabbit, does Alice pick up and use, causing her to rapidly shrink in size?
Fan.
Yes. Which poetic tale is subtitled An Agony in 8 Fits?
The Hunting of the Snark.
Correct. According to the Red Queen in Through the Looking Glass, what remains if you take a bone from a dog?
The dog's temper.
Yes. What riddle does the Hatter first ask Alice when she joins the Mad Tea Party?
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Indeed. In Phantasmagoria, what is the name of the spectre who found that the place was low and he kept bad wine when he inspected the narrator's home?
Inspector Cobbled.
Correct. According to the Professor in Sylvie and Bruno, for what type of rain are boots with umbrellas on top intended to be worn?
Horizontal weather.
Yes. According to the Bellman, which is the first of the 5 unmistakable marks by which you may know the warranted genuine snarks?
It's hollow and crisp flavour.
No. Well, it's flavour, yes, the taste, I'll give you that. Which poem does Alice recite to check whether or not she has been turned into a girl called Mabel who knows such a very little?
How doth the little crocodile?
Correct. Which looking-glass insect has a lump of sugar for its head and lives on weak tea with cream in it?
The bread and butterfly.
Yes, according to Humpty Dumpty, which word in Jabberwocky means 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the time when you begin broiling things for dinner?
Brillig.
Yes, in The Hunting of the Snark, the butcher describes how to cook which desperate bird, which also features in Jabberwocky?
The Jub-Jub bird.
Yes, in Through the Looking Glass, which flower is the first to speak to Alice in the Garden of Live Flowers?
The tiger lily.
Correct. According to the Mock Turtle, what kind of creature was the drawling master who came once a week to his school to teach drawling, stretching and fainting in coils?
A conger eel.
Correct. What nickname does the ghost in Phantasmagoria give to his host after discovering that Tibbets rather than Tibbs is his name?
Old boy.
Old Turnip Top. Old Turnip Top. And no passes for you, Mike Palfrey. 15 points. So that's the end of the first round. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 10 points, Mary Wilmot. 3rd place with 15 points, Mike Palfrey. Joint 1st place, 16 points each, Peter Wright and Derek Moody. General knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. So let's get on with it and ask Mary Wilmot to join us again, if she would, please. And you are the Rodgers and Hammerstein fan, at least I assume you're a fan?
Yes. Most musicals, really.
Most musicals, right. But they must be the most famous partnership of all musical
Yes, most
partnerships.
successful, I think. Mm-hmm.
And how many awards did they win?
The shows themselves had 15 Academy Awards, I think about 50-odd Tonys, 2 Pulitzer Prizes.
That's not bad, is it?
Not bad.
But, I mean, they didn't just set out to make you smile, of course. That's the...
Oh, no, there was dark parts in each one of them, really.
Exactly, that's...
You had Judd Pfrey in Oklahoma, sort of sexual harassment in a way, we call it these days. And in Carousel, you had Billy Bigelow, who was not a very heroic character.
And what's your favourite musical out of them all?
Well, South Pacific.
Yeah.
Because that's the first show I was ever in.
Oh, you were in it?
Only amateur.
Oh, right.
Local amateur.
Right, and what did you play?
Oh, I was in the dancing line. I was young and thin then.
So you remember it fondly?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Right, well, let's see how you do. You got 10 points with Rodgers and Hammerstein. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which well-known book, originally compiled by Ross and Norris McWhirter, was first published in 1955?
The Guinness Book of Records.
Yes. Who was the leader of the British Liberal Party from 76 to 88 when it merged with the Social Democratic Party to become the Social and Liberal Democrats?
David Steele.
Yes. Scottish engineer Archibald Leach is particularly associated with the design of what sort of structure?
Cantilever Bridge.
Football stadiums. The British anatomist and paleontologist Sir Richard Owen, remembered for his studies of fossilised animals, is generally credited with coining which word in 1842?
Dinosaur.
Yes. Which cartoon cat who first appeared in 1921 famously kept on walking?
Felix.
Yes. Sodom and Gomorrah are the 2 best known of the 5 biblical cities known collectively as what?
The Cities of the Plain.
Yes, in 1990, which female tennis player at the age of 14 years, 89 days, became the youngest ever seed at Wimbledon?
Maureen Connolly.
Jennifer Capriati. Which river of southwestern France shares its name with the department around whose capital, Cahors, it flows?
The Loire.
The low. Which billionaire businessman who died in July 1997 once said, "A man who marries his mistress creates a vacancy"?
Paul Getty.
Goldsmith. Who was sacked by Michael Howard from his post of shadow art spokesman in November 2004?
Pass.
Which British cheese is named after the village near Melton Mowbray where it was sold to 18th century travellers?
Stilton.
Yes, who in 1938 said every communist must grasp the truth, political power grows out of the barrel of a gun?
Stalin.
Mao Zedong. Which East German make of car appears on the sleeve of the U2 album Achtung Baby?
Mercedes.
Trabant. Created Viscount St Albans in 1621, the philosopher and statesman who was Lord Chancellor to James I is better known by which name?
Pass.
Which birds on the River Thames are owned by either the Dyers and Vintners Company or the Crown?
Swans.
Yes, which short story writer and poet was expelled, started so I shall finish, from the American Army Academy at West Point in 1831 for deliberate neglect of duty?
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
It was Edgar Allan Poe. And your other passes, Sir Francis Bacon was created Viscount St Albans all those years ago. And Boris Johnson was sacked by Michael Howard from the front bench. Mary Wilmot, those two passes, you have a total of 17 points. And now Mike Palfrey, if he'd join us, please. 15 points with Lewis Carroll, whose name wasn't, of course, Lewis Carroll.
No, the Reverend Charles Lutwidge Dodgson.
Who was a rather dry, rather dour scholar.
Yes, a mathematician.
What sort of bloke was he, do you think? I mean, a man who makes up stories for small children sounds a rather...
Very shy, very awkward with adults who were not close friends. So shy, in fact, that in early life and later on, he stuttered to the point where when he created the dodo in Alice in Wonderland, it's actually Dodo Dodgson.
Oh, really?
To reflect his own stammer.
So there was a bit of self-parody?
Oh, yes,
yes,
yes, emphatically.
What do you think is his most bizarre or your favourite character?
I'm remarkably fond of the Cheshire Cat because he's dry and ironic. And from a characterisation point of view, because I certainly shouldn't like to meet her, I rather like the Red Queen in Through the Looking Glass as well.
Yes.
She's sort of bad temper personified.
And not unlike many modern politicians, words mean what I choose them to mean. You know. Yes. Often thought that. Right. 15 points you have so far. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. Who was Margaret Thatcher's chief press secretary from 1979 till 1990?
Bernard Ingham.
Correct. Not by strength, by guile is the motto of which unit of the armed services?
Fleet Air Arm?
Special Boat Service. The sound or Øresund connecting the Kattegat with the Baltic lies between Denmark and which other country?
Norway.
Sweden. In 8 BC, the Roman Senate proposed that the name of the month Sextilis should be changed to what?
July.
August. In December 2001, which broadcaster and journalist was installed as Chancellor of Manchester University, the first woman ever to hold the post?
Pass.
The Statue of Liberty commemorates the friendship between the peoples of the United States and which country?
France.
Correct. Which of the Impressionists painted a celebrated view of Dulwich College while in London in 1871?
Cézanne.
Pizarro. For what do the initials CPR stand in the context of emergency medical treatment?
Pass.
What is the occupation of the old woman murdered by Raskolnikov in the novel Crime and Punishment?
She's a pawnbroker.
Yes. Which Chinese philosopher and moral teacher is known by the Latinized version of the Chinese for Kong the Master?
Confucius.
Yes. Lord Lambourne and James Grieve are varieties of which fruit?
Apple.
Yes. With an area of about 140 square miles, which is the largest lake in Italy?
Maggiore.
Garda. When keeping score at cricket, what term is used for a ball from which the batsman has failed to score?
Dot ball.
Yes. What popular name is given to the safe loading line on the side of a ship, officially called the International Load Line?
Plimsoll Line.
Yes. Garden, bar, dartford and spectacled are members of which family of small birds named because of their song?
Larks.
Warbler. In which film is the title character played by Paul Newman put on a chain gang for destroying parking meters?
Pass.
Which British architect with Renzo Piano designed the Pompidou Centre in Paris?
Pass.
The heart of which author is buried in St Michael's Church in Stinsford, Dorset, his ashes interred in Poets' Corner in 1928?
Byron.
Hardy, Thomas Hardy. What title does the leader of the devolved Scottish Parliament hold?
Chief Minister.
First Minister. Bastia was the... Just started, so I'll finish. Bastia was the capital of which Mediterranean island until 1791?
Sicily.
No, Corsica. Your passes. Richard Rodgers was the British architect who helped design the Pompidou. Cool Hand Luke was the film Paul Newman played in. You knew that. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And Anna Ford was installed as Chancellor of Manchester University. 4 passes. Mike Pfrey, 22 points. And now Peter Wright, if he would join us, please. The Mayan civilization lasted for a very long time.
Yes, the classic period for 700 years, and there were large-scale civilizations up to the 13th century. In fact, when the Spanish arrived, even then they thought that the Maya were one of the most civilized people they encountered.
So a highly civilized group of people, but pretty bloodthirsty as well.
Well, yes, not as bloodthirsty as the Aztecs say, but they did practice human sacrifice, and by decapitation rather than by heart sacrifice usually. But,
so they didn't rip their heart out, they chopped their heads off.
well, they ripped their heart out on occasion, but mostly they chopped their heads off, yes.
They didn't waste their head, though, did they?
Well, some inscriptions look like people are wearing shrunken heads as ornaments.
Didn't they play football with them?
Well, that's the ball game used a rubber ball, and in some of the inscriptions, the ball is depicted as having a human skull inside. So that may be a metaphor, or it may represent what actually happened, but I would think that would make the ball pretty hard to play with.
And you got every question right, which means you now have 16 points.
All right.
Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. The name of which fictional land is given to the series of 7 novels by C.S. Lewis, which began in 1950 with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe?
Narnia.
Correct. How many stars make up the group of stars in the constellations Ursa Major, known in this country as the Plough?
7.
Yes. Which Algerian-born French philosopher is known as the father of deconstructionism?
Jacques Derrida.
Yes. What in the Bible was made of gopher wood and was 300 cubits long, 50 wide and 30 high?
Noah's Ark.
Yes. By which Latin word meaning girl or doll is the intermediate stage in the life cycle of some insects known?
Pupa.
Yes. Which patriotic anthem features in the opera Madame Butterfly and was played by Jimi Hendrix at the Woodstock Festival?
The Star-Spangled Banner.
Correct. Holding the post from 1694 to 1697, Sir John Houblon was the first person to be appointed to which office?
President of the French Republic.
Governor of the Bank of England. Which television comedy series was set in the newsroom of Globlink News?
Drop the Dead Donkey.
Yes. What was the name of William Wordsworth's sister with whom he had an exceptionally close relationship?
Dorothy.
Yes. Which country's tourist attractions include a spectacular cable car ride to the top of the Heights of Abraham?
Canada.
Derbyshire. What can you not make from a sow's ear?
A silk purse.
Yes. In which Alfred Hitchcock film does Cary Grant flee across a field closely pursued by a crop-dusting plane?
North by Northwest.
Yes. Which device, often associated with the Roman god Neptune, is featured on the flag of Barbados?
The Trident.
Yes. Which churchman wrote the hymn Lead Kindly Light in 1833 when he was becalmed in the strait between Corsica and Sardinia?
Pass.
Deriving from the Greek for a destroyer of images, what terms apply to a person who attacks traditional or established beliefs, ideas and institutions?
Iconoclast.
Yes. In which city did China's first motor racing Grand Prix take place in September 2004?
Beijing.
Shanghai. A room made of which substance was presented to Peter the Great by Frederick William of Prussia and later installed in the Catherine Palace before vanishing during World War I?
Amber.
Yes. What is the hobby of a cruciverbalist?
Pass.
Which composer was responsible for the building of the Festival Theatre, which opened at Bayreuth in Germany in 1876?
Wagner.
Wagner it was, and your time is up. 2 passes. A cruciverbalist compiles crosswords, and the churchman who wrote Lead Kindly Light because he was becalmed was John Henry Newman, Cardinal Newman. 2 passes. Peter Wright, 30 points.
Thank you.
And finally, Derek Moody, please. So, Queen. A great band.
Probably one of the best bands of the 20th century, yes.
Certainly groundbreaking. Bohemian Rhapsody was not only regarded by many as the best of its kind.
Regarded as the first pop promo video,
Yeah.
regarded as being the first record to combine rock music with opera. But they really took the technology forward with music. They took the ideas forward. both musically and visually, to create some groundbreaking music. Bohemian Rhapsody was probably something that you can do once and then nobody else can even do that again, because it's just is the ultimate way of expressing that format.
They were very sharp commercially, weren't they? I mean, they made a huge amount of money, even though they didn't sell, compared with the Beatles or something, that many records.
They were probably the first band who really got a grip on the finances, on their own finances. They controlled their own videos, they owned the rights to those, they owned the rights to their own music. And it's shown if you can get control, then you can make a lot of money out of rock music.
Right, well, you have 16 points, which is a very high score, but you've got to beat 30 points. Let's see if you can do it. 2 minutes on general knowledge starting now. Launched in 1986 and closed down in 95, which national newspaper was the first in Britain to be printed in colour?
Today.
Yes, which of Henry VIII's wives was present at the coronation of Mary I in October 1553?
Catherine Howard.
Anne of Cleves. Jove is the alternative name for which of the Roman gods?
Jupiter.
Yes, in which country was milk chocolate first manufactured in 1875 by the firm of Daniel Peter?
Switzerland.
Yes, which crabs use empty snail shells or other hollow objects to live in and as a protection for their body?
Hermit crabs.
Yes. In the television series Star Trek, what was the name of the communications officer on board the original Starship Enterprise, played by Nichelle Nichols?
Lieutenant Uhuru.
Yes. Which of the British Isles is ruled by an overlord known as the Seigneur when male and the Dame when female?
Jersey.
Sark. What was the name of Britain's largest and last battleship launched in 1944?
Ark Royal.
Vanguard. Which European capital city is served by Gardermoen International Airport?
Oslo.
Yes. Who served indictments on Hermann Goering and other major Nazi war criminals at Nuremberg and later masterminded Margaret Thatcher's election as Tory leader?
Willie Whitelaw.
Eri Neve. According to the Old Testament, who slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass?
Samson.
Yes. Which notorious Australian bushranger was hanged at Melbourne Jail on the 11th of November 1880?
Ned Kelly.
Yes. Which mistress of Edward VII was the great-grandmother of Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall?
Alice Keppel.
Yes. In World War I, what nickname was given to the 420mm German howitzers built by Krups and used to bombard Liège and Namur in 1914?
Big Bertha.
Yes. Who wrote the Barrytown trilogy of novels set in North Dublin?
Paddy Doyle.
Roddy Doyle. Which geological time period is split into upper and lower divisions, differentiating the upper coal-bearing measures from the limestone below?
Carboniferous.
Yes, the katydid, so-called because of the male's repetitive call, is closely related to which other insect?
Mantis.
Grasshopper. Which American is the only golfer to have won the British Open on 5 different courses?
Tom Watson.
Correct. Who provides the voice of the book in the 2005 film version? I'll finish the question of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Take a guess.
John Cleese.
Stephen Pfrey. It wouldn't have made any difference, Derek Moody, even if you got it right, because you have 28 points. Well, let's look at the scores. In 4th place with 17 points, Mary Wilmot. In 3rd place with 22 points, Mike Palfrey. In 2nd place with 28 points, Derek Moody. In 1st place, 30 points, Peter Wright. We shall be seeing Peter Wright when he takes his place in our grand final. Congratulations to him. Do join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
What makes us who we are, and can we change? Michael Mosley reveals the truth about personality in Horizon tonight at 9. But next on BBC Two, green fingered advice as the A to Z of TV gardening reaches the letter C.